Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the Spirit. 1 Peter 4:5. You who read these words are both quick and dead quick in your earthly form, dead in your own conceit. The judge stands not without but within, ready to sift the husks of flesh from the living grain of spirit. This is why the gospel God's hidden plan was spoken even to those who slumber in death. It was whispered into your unconscious, that you might taste the promise of resurrection before the final hour. Preached to the dead means this: while you dwelt in the tomb of your own thinking, the divine herald came. He traced the blueprints of your salvation upon the canvas of your imagination. At the fullness of time, you would awaken to 4 signs already scribed within your being: the new birth in spirit, the unveiling of your fatherhood, the streaming blood of inner sacrifice, and the dove of perfect love descending upon your heart. These were the gospel preached, not to crowds in temples, but to your sleeping self. Judgment by flesh is merciful. It ignores the plan and binds you to appearances. Judgment by spirit sees the living photograph of God you now become. Who shall account to him? Only the one who resists the coming wonder, refusing the inner resurrection that makes him quick in spirit. But all the dead shall hear, for everyone has the plan in him. No volume of law can unwrite the revelation once it stirs your soul. Stand amazed when you feel the wind of God within you, an anger that breathes light, and recognize that this very spirit is your true self, recalling you from the grave of form into the eternal unveiling. Thus the gospel to the dead awakens you to live according to God in spirit, no longer judged by flesh, but clothed in the unity of the Father's purpose eternally accomplished. There are 2 fundamental states of awareness often described as the quick and the dead. The quick are those who have awakened to spirit, while the dead remain entangled in identification with the body and mind. When you reach the moment of giving account, you experience an inner reckoning in which the familiar patterns of mortality begin to dissolve and you acknowledge your true self. And as the word of spirit is preached to the dead, it penetrates the subconscious, sowing seeds of transformation even within those regions of your being that seem inert. Begin by understanding that preaching to what seems lifeless is really an act of impressing the deeper mind with an elevated vision of who you truly are. From here, you move into a 2-fold judgment. When you judge according to human, fleshly standards, you are gently releasing outdated beliefs and familiar patterns. Then, as you learn to live in harmony with the Spirit of God, you allow imagination itself to become the wellspring of creative power. In this way, creation naturally unfolds. Your inner word awakens the subconscious, and it quietly reshapes outer circumstances until they mirror the spirit you have deliberately entertained. Imagination is the very seat of divine power, for it alone has the capacity to discern and transform every dormant aspect of your being. When you allow it to judge those sleeping parts, it gently awakens them, reshaping what once lay unexpressed. Deep within, the gospel you carry is nothing more than your own awareness of oneness with the universal mind. As you engage your imagination with clear intent, those seemingly lifeless regions stir to life and naturally align themselves with the infinite unity that underlies all existence. Begin each evening by taking a few quiet moments to revisit any disappointments you may have carried through the day, and as you gently observe them, replace each scene with the vivid reality of your fulfilled desire. In doing so, imagine those so-called dead or dormant parts of yourself coming to life within your chosen outcome. This is your way of speaking the gospel to your own imagination. Whenever self-doubt begins to surface, offer your inner world the other cheek by viewing it through the lens of a wish already accomplished, and in that peaceful space, remind the waiting self, you are divine and creative. Over time, make this inner vision as detailed, sensory, and convincing as possible, for this sustained proclamation to your subconscious mind will gradually cause your outer circumstances to reflect the state you hold within. Recognize, too, that every passage of Scripture speaks first and foremost to levels of consciousness, showing that references to flesh and death or to spirit and life are invitations to awaken your own creative power. The dead are simply aspects of your being awaiting the gospel of your imagination, and as you breathe life into them, they rise into the fullness of your divine reality.